Hey y'all, welcome to day 13 of JavaScript arrays in 30 days. At least that's my goal is 30 days. Could go longer. Definitely could say it won't go less. Today I'm going to be starting one day, the day one out of day two, and going from a imperative to declarative styling of being able to uh, go through an array and be able to reduce. So it's going to be a little bit more different than the reduce that you see in ES5, ES6, ES everywhere. And it's going to be, and anyways, I'm going to work on that tomorrow. But what I want to do today is I want to go with the way that I'm accustomed to doing such a thing, and then we'll go from there the next day, tomorrow. But what I want to do is so the goal that I'm trying to get to now is being able to have an array, and then with any objects that are inside of this array is I want to be able to go through and find the one that's the biggest. So everybody's got different ways. So I think that my way let me just show you the thought process that comes to mind is is pretty much just having it to where I am going to set up some state. And so by doing this, I'll be able to actually hold state each time that I go through and do a comparison. Now, in order for me to be able to do this, let me do this. Let's keep this here. Using Quokka, I think that's how you say it, in Visual Studio Code. We'll just be able to watch and see what that value is once we're done here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to for each over the box art, and for each of the box arts is that I'm going to set at this moment in time the current size to the box art width times the box art height. All right, so now I'm going to check and make sure, because each time I go through this I have to go outside of here and check and see what the values are at the given time. And so what I want to make sure is that the current size, and I'll show you why, is greater than the max size. I can keep going. And the reason is because here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to is make my writing a little bit more legible, my words a little bit more legible. Okay. So each time we go through, and as long as this condition checks, then I'm going to set the largest box art to box art. And then I'm going to set the current size. Sorry, no, that doesn't make sense. Then I'm going to set the max size to the current size. And let's see what we get. So we get 425 by 150, and that is the largest. Now, what is it that? So pretty much what is happening here is that for each of the times that I loop over the box art, box art's array is that I'm setting the current size to the box art width times the box art height. Now, if the current size, which is greater than the max size, which it is, as we can tell by max size right now at this point in time would be -1, then we're going to set the largest box art to box art. And then we're going to set the max size, now it's going to be the current size. So at the beginning, the first time we go through, it's going to check and see. Let me just make sure. So let's see, it's not going to give me the right. This is going to be at the end anyways. Okay. So the current size each time we go through is, so let's make sure this is right. That one, and that one. Okay. So each time we go through, so the current size for each box art, the current size is going to be these different values. Let me just hold on to this. Let's check this out. -1, 4,000, 4,000. How did it get 4,000 and then 3,000? That's interesting. I have to find out why that is. So if the current size is greater than the max size, then we set the largest box art to the box art. So we're just grabbing the whole object out of there. And then we're then going to set the max size, which we see here is -1. All right, that makes sense, to the current size. So now it's 4,000. Then at the next time through, the current size is greater than the max size. Then we're going to go ahead and check and see if that is true. Then it is going to do the same thing process as it did before, where it is going to set the largest box art to that box art, and the max size is going to become the current size. So at this point in time, 4,000, 4,000, that's why we get the double. And so it keeps going through, and then so max size never reaches the current size, 63,750, and that's why this last one, I wonder if what happened here. Okay, so now we can see that we've got the shifting going on here. So we can tell here is that if the current size, let's just continue to have fun here, because the one thing about for each is that, for each it's not going to stop once it finds the value that you're looking for. So it's always going to go through it. But you can see that this was the last one, 63750, and now it is went up one. And so now we can see it's the first one. So now max size is always going to be the 6th, 7th. So that's always, the max size is as far as it's going to get. And so it's going to go over it each time. But the max size is never going to get larger because it hit it after the first time. So pretty much the one issue we have here is that we're having to hold on to a lot of state. We're having to go outside of this function and actually grab what the current state is in order to be able to do the accumulation that we want to do in order to get the largest box art that we can possibly find within inside of this array. So with that said, so again, is that the for each is going to go over through all of them, and each time we're going to be holding some state and manipulating and changing state based upon what our conditions are, and then that's going to return out the largest box art that we can find from these objects inside of this array. So now this is the first step in the ability to be able to go over and go through an array and be able to reduce down to a single value that we want. Now and that's in this particular scenario. Now reduce is used for many different scenarios. Many different scenarios where you only want one value, and in our case, come tomorrow, only one array that will be returning. But so that's the point of it, is that, and that's what I've been doing each step, each day, is being able to take something like this, all this right here, and being able to abstract it away into a new method that is put onto the array. So what they're going to be doing tomorrow is taking all this, abstracting it away into our own custom reducer, and then being able to use that reducer with our combine all and concat map, and that we've been building the last couple days. So as we continue to move forward, we'll be able to chain these different methods along with the methods that are already on the array prototype, to be able to manipulate and transform data that we're looking for in any way possible. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, and it's been some help to you, and I'll talk with you tomorrow.